Hello everybody and welcome back to the Mega Metroid Marathon. I'm your host, Hadfield15, joined by one of my pals at the Approach Vector Studios Discord server, Max Deadbear. And today, for the third installment, or technically second live stream of our marathon, we are playing Super Metroid. Now, I'm sorry if I couldn't host my Metroid Samus Return stream last week because I was experiencing some technical difficulties and my Wi-Fi did not want to cooperate with me, so again, I'm really sorry about that, but hey, we're here now and we're about to play some Super Metroid. Are you excited, Max? Okay, he must be AFK at the moment, but even so, I'm still, it's still nice to kind of be just, playing this game with all of you, even though I currently have, like, 2 watchers at the moment, but even so, I'm just gonna continue playing on. So, yeah, just let me know. I'm just watching the quality of the stream, just making sure it's okay. Looks good so far, but yeah, anyways, here we go. Let's play Super Metroid. Now, some of my older fans might actually remember that, you know, I actually did, like, a Let's Play series on Super Metroid back in, like, the earlier days of my channel. So it's been quite a while since I've done it on YouTube. I mean, I've played it a few times outside of my Let's Play series, but yeah, regardless, I'm really excited to be doing this with you guys today. So let's just stop blabbering and jump right into this.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
For now, at least. For like a few minutes. But even so, I first battled the Metroids on planet Zebes. It was there that I foiled the plans of the space pirate leader Mother Brain to use the creatures to attack galactic civilization. So yes, we got a brief recounting of the events that have taken place prior to Super Metroid as told by Samus Aran herself. And I actually kind of like that because, you know, it's a super helpful little thing for us considering how we unfortunately couldn't hold last week's stream. But yeah, quick flashback to the original Metroid, which in our case would be Metroid Zero Mission. I next fought the Metroids on their homeworld, SR-388. I completely eradicated them except for a larva, which after hatching, followed me like a confused child. So yeah, that's essentially what happens in the storyline of what was supposed to be last week's stream. We exterminate the entire Metroid species to make sure that they can't be used as a weapon, but on our way out we encounter a Metroid Egg, and baby Metroid thinks that we're its mom. How adorable. I personally delivered it to the Galactic Research Station at Ceres, so scientists could study its energy-producing qualities. And yes, that's where, yep, just Samus handing off the Metroid to scientists who will actually use it for good, as opposed to the space pirates who attempted to use them as weapons. The scientists' findings were astounding. They discovered that the powers of the Metroid might be harnessed for the good of civilization. Yep, everything looks great, and for a 1994 game, sorry, I almost said 1984. Like, I really like the story. Like, yeah, the story is also really good, and you know, the art style is also really good too. And you'll also find that like the atmosphere is also one of my favorite things about this game. Satisfied that all was well, I left the station to seek a new bounty to hunt. But I had hardly gone beyond the asteroid belt when I picked up a distress signal. Ceres Station was under attack. Oh, and we noticed the change of expression in Samus's face there behind the visor. Alright, and so our adventure continues. Oh, hey Max, good to see you in the chat. Yeah, actually, I think Max, you've actually played like the Metroid games before, but you never actually completed them, so, I mean, this might be a bit of a familiar sight to you. Meanwhile, there's me who's played through Super Metroid at least 10 times by now, and of course I've been doing a bit of speedrun practice, you know, leading up to this stream. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna... Okay. Damn, Antivast. Sorry, stuff's popping up on my screen that I don't really want to see. But yeah, right off the bat, we can see, like, the atmosphere of this game is, like, different from the starting atmosphere of, like, Metroid Zero Mission or Samus Returns, for instance. Like, normally it's, like, bright and cheerful, but instead, with Super Metroid, we're just immediately greeted with this dark, eerie, atmosphere. And we'll actually see a lot more of that in Metroid Fusion, which is, like, honestly, they do a lot better at it in Metroid Fusion 8 years after this game comes out. But, yeah, we have the baby Metroid right here. But alas, it's Ridley. Ah, yes, the cunning god of death. The guy that we absolutely obliterated on Zebes and SR-388, which, again, unfortunately we couldn't play Samus Returns last week, so, yeah. Now, kind of like Mega Man X, you're actually not supposed to beat the Ridley boss fight. Like, I mean, I've seen people, like, actually, like, damage really, like, a lot during this little phase here, but it's just, like the Vile boss fight in Mega Man X during the opening stage, like, you're not actually supposed to beat this boss, but I mean, you're allowed to still, like, damage it as much as you want, but, yeah, actually, I'm not sure if I've actually ever beaten Ridley before, so, oh, okay, I'm doing really good at dodging his attacks, gonna keep blasting him. Yes, I may only have my basic power beam, Ridley, but also I can still kick your arse even with my most basic abilities. Ow, okay. Oh, okay, I kinda jumped, I literally jumped right into him there. Okay, now he's just gonna keep spamming the tail. Cheap, Ridley. Real cheap. Let's actually see if I can actually, like, weaken Ridley so that he drops the baby Metroid, because I don't think I've actually ever seen that. I mean, the speedrunning gods were with us during my Metroid Zero Mission stream, so I'm not sure if the same will be the case for... Okay, it doesn't look like the same case, it'll be the same case for Super Metroid, because Ridley has escaped, and now we must escape before this whole colony self-destructs, which I don't know why the colony would just self-destruct. I mean, perhaps it's just a method to get us to rush back to our ship to chase Ridley to Zebes, but I don't know. I honestly don't know. Okay. Okay, yeah, the little steam plumes, even though we're at, like, 19% health, like, the steam plumes don't actually damage us, but they will, like, kind of slow us down. But thankfully we've made it this far in, like, 10 seconds flat, or 13 seconds, maybe. But now it's just this sort of upper sort of, trench, which kind of reminds you of, like, the escape sequence from, Metroid Zero Mission, or the OG Metroid. 20 seconds. That's actually a new personal record for me. I think that's the fastest I've escaped the space colony in a while now. And alas, the colony has been destroyed. But now, we've chased Ridley to planet Zebes, where Metroid Zero Mission took place, where our adventure all began. Okay, again, the stream quality from my end seems to be pretty good, but, you know, you might experience some stuttering and buffering, so, I mean, I'm sorry about that, guys. I mean, I do my best with these streams, but, you know, obviously it's not, like, professional, like, VTuber quality. And alas, the eerie atmosphere of this game continues as we land on planet Zebes, where there's a nice, heavy rainstorm. Along with very creepy music, too. Well, not really creepy, it's just more so, like... I'm not sure how you would describe it, but, you know, the mood of this game is one thing that I really like when you kind of start out. But strangely enough, as we kind of explore the first little bit of Zebes here, we find that there's no, like, wildlife here. But if we drop down here, there's actually a callback to the original Metroid, in which we have the old Turian, aka the old Motherboard base. So, yeah, it's actually, I mean, it's a little different than what we saw in Metroid Zero Mission, but, I mean, I guess it's technically the same place, really, just a little bit of a different layout. But yeah, here's where we fought Motherboard in Metroid Zero Mission, and yeah, we really blew this place to hell, didn't we? But however, this elevator wasn't here before. So, I mean, despite the fact I like the callbacks to, like, the original Metroid game, like, the layout is a little bit odd for this first little section because I mean, I'm not sure, like, I don't recall this elevator connecting us right to Brinstar here, but even so, we go right down here, and we got our Morph Ball in the exact same place it was in back when we first got it in Metroid Zero Mission. So we're being watched, are we? We have those dainty little security cameras just watching us as we carry along our treacherous little journey to planet Zebes. Yeah, we actually go down here, and I think the layout here is a little different, because this is what normally took you to, like, Lower Brinstar, but instead, this is where we actually get missiles. Yep, nice to have those again. Okay, up we go. Okay. Oh man, this one's always, yeah, that little sort of jump is always a little bit tricky because, you know, it's hard to get like a good angle of destruction without destroying too much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, right over here we have another missile expansion, or our first missile expansion, or, well, you guys get it, I'm sure. No, I think there's actually like a energy tank. Maybe it's best not to waste our missiles trying to like pry it open, because I think we're gonna need missiles just right up ahead. This way. Alright, back up to the old space pirate base we go. The atmosphere we've noticed a change in the music, and if we go through here, bam, the space pirates are back. But thankfully they are like incredibly weak because I can just annihilate them with a single little power beam blast. Like, it doesn't take anything at all to destroy these like basic space pirates. But yeah, I mean, the ascent was easy, but now we just gotta ascend, and the ascent is typically a bit more difficult than the descent. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure the 3 people watching this stream kind of get it. Okay, I can't seem to get my jumps right. Okay. Alright. Yeah, the platforms are definitely a lot smaller than what we experienced in Metroid Zero Mission, but then again, Zero Mission was a remastering of, you know, the original Metroid, and, you know, Zero Mission came out in 2004, but, like, the OG Metroid came out in, like, 1986, so, I mean, obviously it's gonna more so call back to the OG Metroid rather than Zero Mission. Oh, we got 2 in 1. Never stood a chance against me. And as we keep going out, we notice that, like, the Zebesian wildlife has actually started to pop up for whatever reason, which I don't know why it didn't show up the first time. Now, technically, we don't have to go through this red hatch right here, but it gives us, if we go through this sort of hallway here, yeah, if we go through this hallway, it actually leads us to a map station, which will give us the map data, which, I mean, obviously, I guess is important. There we go. So now we have a little bit of a map of this general area of planet Zebes, Crateria. So now we can just mosey on our way up. I think I'll just go a little bit longer without actually saving because, well, I don't know. Technically, I could just save if I want to, but yeah. Oh. Just keep on going. Got that. And now with our morph ball ability, we can explore what's down this little pathway right here. Alright, we'll just run past these little gnat things. And we go through this hatch, and we can see that we have a Chozo statue with our morph ball bombs, or as Digi would call them, boom balls. Alright, so now we try to leave, however, we get locked in here, and it's because we have our first official boss fight. Again, I mean, or at least the first boss fight you're supposed to beat, but yeah, this Chozo statue has suddenly come to life, and I accidentally just wasted a bunch of my missiles trying to get it. I mean, at least we can still hurt him with our beam, but even still, let's just use our missiles first. Okay, I like how you can actually kind of like roll between Torzo's legs. I guess that's kind of handy for when he tries to like corner you a little bit later, or in a couple of his moves. Okay, well, just dodge those. Okay, we're taking a little damage, but it's okay. Okay, now he's running around like a literal headless chicken, so... There we go, and we got him. It's our first boss fight down. All because we wanted some damn morph ball bombs. Even so, we got past that, and now we can explore even more of this area. Whoops. Gotta mess up on my jump there. Alright, with our morph ball bombs, we run over to this wall here, we destroy that, and now we actually have to run down a little bit of like a slope area here, which I don't recall was in like other Metroid games. But over here we have an energy tank. Our missiles on these green space pirates because our beam actually can't damage them, or at least our basic power beam can't damage them. Now that red hatch is actually what takes us to Motherboard at the end of the game, but first we need to beat 4 bosses in order to kind of actually unlock the area to get to Motherboard, like the new Space Pirate base. So we'll just ignore that red hatch for now. But now let's head on down to the new Brent Star. One thing that you might like about Super Metroid in particular is like the music. Particularly like Brent Star's theme is like a real bop. Alright, we can go this way. I actually forget what's over this way. I mean, I just went through this game a couple times already, so, I mean, why would I forget? Actually, no, I think I remember now. It's, I think there's like a map station just... Yep, there's a map station right over here. I mean, getting this data right off the bat is always a handy thing. And of course, we should probably hit the save station right below us just in case. Because we're already a good ways into this, and, you know, if we died now, we would be set all the way back to the beginning of the game. And that would be a little bit on the frustrating end of things. It's locked until we kill all these enemies, in which they're all dead now, so let's just jump on down. Okay, I'm out of missiles now, but that's okay because there's a missile expansion in this little... Actually, there's a couple missile expansions in this room that we're currently in, alongside the Charge Beam, which is, as we all know, your best friend for when missiles don't work. Alright, and to get the Charge Beam, we just blow those blocks up, jump down here, and now we have the Charge Beam, which goes very, very well with some of our later upgrades, as you might probably already know. Now, getting out of this room might be a little bit of a hassle, but, you know, there's actually sort of like a divot in that area that allows you to just safely jump on out this way. And now we can just hold our charge and just kind of run along with our pseudo-screw attack. Okay. Just gonna keep it around for whatever enemies lurk just beyond, you know, eyesight. Like right him. Oh, okay, that didn't quite work out, but it's okay, because we can just carry on regardless. Might want to stock up on some missiles, because there's actually yet another boss fight right ahead for us. Okay, definitely might want to start stocking up on some stuff, like health and missiles. But even so, there's a good opportunity to get those health and missiles in the boss fight that we're facing right now. And it comes from these little projectile things. And that big thing right there is what we're fighting. Oh. Now this boss fight's actually, it's pretty easy to like do and actually not take damage from. You just gotta have like good placement and good timing with your stuff. Oh, okay. Again, it mostly just involves like hiding in a corner and stuff and just, you know, and just shooting the projectiles that come from above so that they themselves don't damage you. Alright, again, I'm just shooting the little spore things that come down. But yeah, again, this boss is really easy to fight. You just gotta wait for him to open himself up, and then, again, just mostly just hide in a corner and wait for a good opportunity to strike. Oh, and of course, as he take more, as it takes more damage, like the spore spawn, that's what it's called. As it takes more damage, you know, it'll start going faster, as some boss fights might. Oh, okay, taking some damage, so I might want to focus on my health a little more now. Okay, just stay crouched or in your morph ball mode in this corner, and you should be okay, generally. Oh. Anytime now, and right there, he opens himself up. And just like that, that's our second boss destroyed. And I actually like kind of the attention to detail how the area here just immediately withers. And of course, again, I just pulled out some pro Metroid player skills right there. So now we just kind of go down this fake Mario warp pipe, and this drops us all the way down here where we actually get super missiles. Yeah, I know what the 3 people watching this are probably thinking, like, don't you get super missiles much later on in the game? And that's kind of what I thought too, but apparently super missiles are like one of the earlier items you get in Super Metroid, much to my surprise, of course. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the whole inventory system we got going on here, like, you can switch, like, by pressing, like, the select button, you can switch between, you know, more than just, like, missiles and super missiles. Like, eventually we'll have power bombs and the grapple beam and another really cool upgrade, but, you know, I find it kind of strange because it's a little convoluted, and sometimes it's a little hard to, like, I mean, I guess there's the whole function of, like, the Y button to set you back to your beam off the bat, but, yeah, I mean, it's easy for me just quick swapping between your stuff because, you know, I played Doom. In fact, I actually played a little bit of Doom Eternal before this stream. Okay, so I might want to start focusing on my health because if I die, that won't be very good. Okay. Oh, uh-oh, oh no, oh no, okay. Oh boy. Okay, let's just focus a little bit on, like, health farming, because I'm not going to take any chances with this stuff. Okay, we'll quick swap to our super missiles. Okay, careful now. Okay, we're getting more health, but actually there's, like, a health recharge station not too far away from here, so we just gotta stay alive until then. And now this little section right up here is actually pretty confusing if you're, like, new to Metroid, but in Super Metroid you actually have, like, a button to press for you to, like, run and stuff, and you need to know how to do that, otherwise you can't get across the bridge that I just ran across. So, yeah, back when I played Super Metroid, that took a little bit of trial and frustration, but, you know, eventually I got past it. And now we're in, like, a red soil version of Brinstar here, in which, again, the music is a real bop. Okay. Okay, we made it down here, and now just instinctively we are going to hit the energy recharge station that is right in here because, you know, that was a near-death encounter right there, and, you know, that would have set us back quite a bit. Okay, now I'm not sure if you're actually, like, sequence breaking, but what I'm about to do here is, like, I'm about to just use my wall jumping skills to my advantage, because we actually, by doing that, we can actually get another item of ours super early. I think normally without doing what I just did right there, you would have to get, like, the high jump boots in order to kind of get up here, but obviously, since I'm a Metroid Pro, I know how to wall jump, and with that, we can get the Spazer Beam really early. And, yeah, the Spazer, for those who don't know, it actually kind of, like, widens the effect of our beam, so it's like we're firing 3 shots at once. So, yeah, we can see, like, the range of the beam has gotten a bit wider now that we kind of sequence broke the game there. Okay, it's a little bit tricky to get down sometimes because, you know, the block that kind of trips you up, like the one I waited for to respawn before we kind of went back, is, like, it takes its sweet time sometimes, or it's just a little tricky to find. Okay, and we're down here. There's actually a secret area if you go to the left, or the right as you saw right there, but in order to kind of progress to there, we need to go down to Norfair and get the high jump boots. Alright, carefully now, carefully. We gotta go down to, like, this bottom hatch here, and we need missiles to open it, so... Yeah, we kind of ran out of missiles there for a moment, but it's okay, we got them now. And along with our high jump boots, there's actually a couple expansions that you can get in this room we're currently in, alongside, you know, this energy tank we just got. And the thing about this room is like the door is obviously locked until you kill that enemy that I just killed right there when I was kind of diving. Okay, so since the door won't unlock until we kill that little guy, you know, we may as well just get that done right off the bat. And then we go back up the way we came, and to get a missile expansion, and then on our way over to the secret area where we'll be fighting Discord Modzilla, aka Kraid. And now for our secret area over here, you actually have to shoot one of these blocks with super missiles in order to get by. And again, we needed those high jump boots, otherwise we wouldn't be able to actually make the jump there. Alright, the hatch will be locked until we can actually beat Discord Modzilla, but fortunately, again, beating Kraid is just as easy as it was in Metroid Zero Mission. You just gotta shoot him in the mouth a bunch of times and then he'll eventually go down. And I suspect that it'll be much the same way for Metroid Dread when it comes out in less than 2 weeks' time, so the time is definitely drawing near, and I'm most certainly excited to be sharing that experience with all of you. And by all of you, I mean like the 3 or 5 people who will actually show up to the stream. Currently making Samus and Vroid. Oh, very cool, very cool. That's like the whole VTuber skin making thing, isn't it, Max? Oh yeah, that's right. There's a whole bunch of really cool like features in Super Metroid that are actually like sadly exclusive to Super Metroid, like what I just did right there. You charge up a beam and then you kill it to your morph ball while your beam is still charging, and it'll like just drop a whole bunch of little morph ball bombs. And there's also some really cool things you can do with power bombs in this game when your beam attacks, and it varies depending on which beam you have armed. So yeah, I forget how to do them exactly, but you know, there's some cool stuff. Now this room is actually a little bit tricky because there's thorns coming at you from this direction, and they're like a little hard to dodge. So I mean, with this room, I would just say the best approach is just be gutsy and just take them to the face. And then just jump around and hit the mini Kraid there with the super missile. Now, obviously, that wasn't the Kraid that we're looking for. He's just a little ways through this area here. And if I go up that way, I think it just takes you to a missile recharge room, which I don't really think we need at this moment. Alright, we destroy that, and now we go through here, and we fight Kraid once again, which, again, same principle as Metroid Zero Mission stream. And actually, since we have super missiles so early on in the game, like, it's super easy to beat Kraid if you hit him right with super missiles. Alright, we meet again, Discord Modzilla, and I am going to, I'm gonna perma-ban you this time. Okay, well, I missed my shot there, so... Alright, might want to hit my shot just right. Oh yeah, Discord Modzilla is not happy about, you know, what we're doing to him, but, you know, I'm sorry, Discord Modzilla, but you need to be perma-banned for this stuff. Ah! Okay, if I can hit any of my missiles, that is. And there we go, just like that, we beat Discord Modzilla already. Again, you might think that's just speedrunning, but, you know, it's actually not really speedrunning if you hit your shots just right. But even so, Discord Modzilla went down, like, super stupid easy. And right through here, we actually have the Varia suit, again, super early compared to, like, Metroid Zero Mission or other games. But, yeah, this will allow us to explore a little bit more of Norfair. Or just, frankly, yeah, a little bit more of Norfair, but there's some areas we can't quite explore without the gravity suit. And actually, speaking of the gravity suit, there's like a lot of items in Super Metroid that like weren't in the previous games. So there's like a whole lot of like, back in the day, there's like the items we collect were like brand new to Metroid players, like super missiles, the gravity suit, the speed booster. There's like a lot of items in this game that like, this is where they like first showed up, really, so. Alright, we just plow through those space pirates, and now we just mosey on our way back to Norfair and collect a missile energy expansion, sorry, in the process. And then, you know, we go ahead and get other items like the speed booster, ice beam, and so on. Now we're just gonna arm our missiles because there's these little like parasite-like creatures, and as you saw, like one of them just lashed right onto me. But just like Metroids, they're super easy to fight. You just gotta hit them with the Morph Ball Bomb, and then we blow this block up. There's our third energy expansion right up above us. Okay, so with Discord Modzilla destroyed and all the expansions for this sort of like little area collected, we can go on back to Norfair and continue to explore the place. Oh, okay, of course the super missile blocks respawn, so that might be a problem if you didn't collect them. Okay, and here we are back in the superheated areas of Norfair. And obviously, again, with the various suit, we're now actually immune to those superheated areas. So we can go through this hatch right here on the right, and obviously, again, that takes us into these one of these superheated environments. But yeah, it's not a problem because, again, our various suit protects us from this stuff, and it actually like reduces the damage taken by enemies. Oh, okay. A little bit tricky there sometimes. Okay, now this room's a little bit fun because, you know, the lava, like, first time you go through here, it's like, the lava's, like, rising still. Or it's, like, rising for the first time. And this only happens, like, once when you first kind of walk into here. Okay, of course, even though we have the various suit, we're not exactly immune to lava. Again, we're gonna need the gravity suit for that. Now this, again, Norfair, like if you're playing Super Metroid for the first time, like you'll find that like Norfair is like a little bit of a labyrinth at times, so yeah, don't worry. I know, again, I've played this game like a few times over now, so I know you gotta go this way to get a missile expansion, and then you just kind of gotta go through like the same sort of area in order to kind of keep going through like more of Norfair, because what we're gonna go get right now is the speed booster, which we'll need to get more items like the ice beam and further on. Like I said, generally like the same area, but a little bit different. Down we go. Oh, okay, there was a little enemy right there, but it's okay. Because we can go down this way now, and this will take us in a like big loop that will eventually lead us to the speed booster. We'll be running in the 90s once again. Oh, okay, just gotta dodge a little lava spray right there. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, forget it, it's not really worth it. Oh, no, I didn't mean to go back down. I wanted to go upwards, away from the lava that's steadily encroaching on this room. Now this room's actually pretty funky because you gotta rely on these little like drone things to like carry you across this middle section here, where you gotta wait for a little bit because that thing will go up and down and try to block you. And then there's like a second platform, but it's like it's influenced by your weight, so eventually like the longer you stand on it, like the more like it'll just slowly go down more and more. Now I'm not going to bother going through like the red hatch that's right here because that actually leads us to the wave beam later on, but unfortunately we can't get the wave beam without the grapple beam, so we'll have, again, we'll come back to that a little later. And again, the wave beam is what allows our beam attacks to actually travel through walls. Alright, and yeah, again, Norfair, like, or Metroid in general, is like a case of like, you know, sort of secret rooms, but if we go through here, we're actually taken to, you know, this room here, in which we'll actually acquire the speed booster at the end of the hall. Okay, and we have another missile expansion right up over here, so we'll grab that before we get our speed runner, or speed booster. I mean, I guess the speed booster makes you into a speed runner, obviously, but yeah. But now we have it, and actually a cool thing too, like with the speed booster, like it gives you, you know, if you didn't know how to press and hold the B button to run, it teaches you now, because obviously you're going to need this, because the lava is going to rise really, really quickly, and we're going to need to run really, really quickly to get out of here. See what I mean? We are just absolutely zooming through the 90s. Yes, and I'm not ashamed to make an initial D reference. Okay, and those little creatures just dove into the ground and damaged us. But yeah, now that we have the speed booster, we actually kind of go back to not far from where we started to get the ice beam upgrade. Okay, yeah, that's a save station in there, but you know, I'm just gonna keep going a little bit before I actually save again. Okay, we can't damage that guy with our beam, at least not at the moment. I feel like we're probably gonna need like the plasma beam to eventually damage them. These little lava seahorses. Okay, it took a little bit of dip in the lava there because those enemies were kind of blocking the path. But hey, we're on a roll once again, and we're just gonna go back to one of the earlier hatches. Yeah, it's like right across from where we initially started. Now, with this little sort of trap thing, like, if you hold B and run, you can run past that first sort of gateway, but, like, you won't be able to run fast enough to pass the second gateway before it closes without the speed booster. Okay, taking a little bit of a dip in the lava, but it's okay. If you're quick enough, you can negate the bad effects of it. Okay, I thought I could, like, bypass that, but apparently I need the spring ball in order to do that, which, again, the spring ball, for some reason in this game, like, it's, like, one of the, like, last items you get, which is freaking stupid, because, again, you think that Samus would be able to jump in her morph ball form by default, rather than relying on some silly upgrade. And plus the fact, like, it's so late on in the game, like, it's just complete garbage, in my opinion. But hey, we have the ice beam now, so we can freeze enemies, and safely stand on them. Oh yeah, that's right. I just remembered that we have to like, there's like, yeah, we have to go through like the door that we spotted up there because those gates will still be closed by the time we kind of re-enter that sort of area. So I just thought we didn't need to go there, but you know, I just wasted a bit of time. But again, we're not out to set world records with these speed runs, if you can call them that. We're just here to have fun, if anyone's interested. Yep, again, these gates are still closed, so we wouldn't be able to progress if we just kind of went back that initial way, but yeah, even so, we're back down here, and okay, wait, what upgrade do we actually go get now? Oh yeah, that's right, I just remember, we can actually go up and get power bombs now. And again, like I said, I think I said this earlier, but power bombs, they were like, this is like where they debuted in Super Metroid. AVPS says hi. Ah, okay, okay. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, we go back to Brinstar where we started out, and with the Ice Beam, we can actually kind of work our way back up a little ways to get power bombs. And you know, power bombs, again, in addition to be like being as powerful as they are, like they'll definitely open up like the yellow hatches, which will allow us to progress even further. Yeah, you gotta be careful of those little like worm things because you know, they'll like latch onto you and deal a little bit of damage if you're not careful with them. But thankfully, again, like a few things are only exclusive to Super Metroid. This way. Wait for you to be frozen. Now we wait for you to freeze you. Get in a good position. And back up we go. there's beetle freezing, more of these beetles to freeze right up here because, you know, we're close to power bombs now. Now this room I've always found it to be a little bit tricky because there's these like these big plants here that are like you know, I just found, I mean, I guess there are a few rooms in Super Metroid that are like a little tricky to get past without having to go slower and not take damage, but you know, if you're careful enough, you'll eventually just sail right past. Oh, okay, took some damage from one of those damn larvae things, whatever those were. And again, this is why we needed the ice beam, because we need to freeze these sort of yellow creatures, but now we have power bombs. Alright. And back at it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay, it took some damage from there, from those things unfreezing, but it's okay. Actually, let's go ahead and hit the save station, because we've made, like, a lot of progress, and, you know, dying now obviously would set us back quite a ways, so we're just gonna go ahead and save here, and I think we'll explore what's right up above us to the left, because I think there's our first power bomb expansion in one of these upcoming rooms. Yep, that's definitely what it is. I just needed a moment to look at the map and confirm it. Of course, there's those giant things which take a little bit of beating before you can actually, like, destroy them. Like, as you saw, like, it took two super missiles to actually destroy those ones. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot that you actually need power bombs, but we can fall through that one safely, and there's a power bomb on the other end. Careful now, because these grabbing things. But yeah, now we can go back down to Norfair and explore even more. As we're continuing on down, we may as well open this first power bomb hatch we saw, and then we'll go ahead and get the expansion that's through here. Wait, actually, nope, never mind. We can't get that expansion because we need the Grapple Beam for it. So we'll set off another power bomb. Back down we go. So with power bombs now in our hands, we can actually kind of go back through this way and you know, blow up a sort of secret passageway, which will take us deeper into Norfair. See that? Alright, so we gonna speed through this right here and just plow through all these helpless pirates and other blocks. Now, right through that super missile hatch below us, that's actually what takes us to our next boss, Crocomire, which is essentially like a sort of mini-grid. Very, very easy to... I mean, I guess it's a bit more slow-paced than the, you know, regular Kraid's boss fight, but even so, it's the same principle. We just gotta shoot him in the mouth and, you know, just push him back until he eventually falls into lava. And down we go. And this is actually what will eventually take us to the Grapple Beam. But first we have to fight, you know, mini Discord Modzilla. You know, or maybe I should say Discord Modzilla's multi-count. Just gotta keep blasting him in the mouth with super missiles and just wait for it to work. And super missiles actually push Crocomire back quite a way, so again, just keep up the steady pattern and eventually we'll like damage him enough, or we'll push him back far enough. Alright, we're almost there. You can kind of see that like Crocomire is kind of getting close to like the unstable ground, which will plummet him into like the lava zone up there. Now we should probably be a little more careful because we're starting to get a little lower health. Alright, you can't evade your permaban with an ultimate Discord Modzilla. Just accept that you're dead. Alright, almost there. And again, we can easily use the charge beam to help us out now. And down he goes. And stay out of this holy Christian grade. And here's actually like the fun thing. So if you look very closely at like the bottom of the screen, we can see like there's like a sort of like yellow particle pattern just kind of making its way over to this end of the room. And at last we have a second phase of this darn boss fight. But if we stand far enough back, I mean, I don't think we'll take any damage. I mean, I don't even think they'll damage us anyways. Or not. You know, what actually kind of confuses me about that area, like what always confused me is like, how did Crocomire's skeleton get all the way from the other end of the room to here? I mean, obviously there's like that particle thing, but still, it doesn't really make the most sense to me. But even so, we took down Discord Modzilla's ulti-count Crocomire real quick, so that being said, we'll just go through this hatch, get an expansion, then just continue on our merry way. And up we go! Alright, so with the Grapple Beam in our possession, we can actually, you know, like swing along these little blocks here that we see at the roof. And we can, yeah, the Grapple Beam, like, aside from, like, grappling onto, like, those blocks or whatever, like, it can actually open hatches and do some, like, very small amounts of damage to, like, enemies. I mean, not exactly, like, the sort of combat's, not exactly, like, the ultimate combat tool, but it'll work, you know? Alright. And another cool thing about, like, the Grapple Beam, like, in Super Metroid and apparently Super Metroid only, you can actually, like adjust the length of the Grapple Beam so that you can, you know, like, get more momentum going and all that stuff. I find that really cool about the Grapple Beam in Super Metroid. But now we go on yet another loop around Norfair, which we can actually, you know, get the Wave Beam now. Because again, without the Grapple Beam, we couldn't get the Wave Beam. Now, in theory, I could just Shine Spark across this thing, but, you know, like the energy expansion that we're getting, obviously, again, as you see, it's a little bit on a ledge. But, I mean, to be fair, I guess I could have wall jumped my way there, but, I mean, once I've Shine Sparked. But something strange about, like, the Shine Spark in Super Metroid here is because, like, for some reason, like, in Super Metroid and in Super Metroid only, like, the Shine Spark, like, when you're flying with the Shine Spark, like, it'll actually, like, damage you. I find it strange, but thankfully, it's only in Super Metroid that that phenomenon occurs. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was just trying to remember, like, what's up through that upper hatch, but it's nothing important. I think it's just like an alternative path down here for later on. Alright, swinging across these things like Tarzan. Whoops, took a little bit of a boost back from the spikes, and a little bit of damage, but it's okay. Oh, okay, and I accidentally fall off my platform. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot you can actually freeze those little flying platforms. So yeah, we could have easily gotten this missile expansion right here without the Grapple Beam, but, you know, to get the actual Wave Beam itself, as you can see, we need the Grapple Beam, otherwise we just fall into a pit full of spikes. There we go, and now our beam can actually travel through walls. I mean, obviously we can't exactly tell the difference with our beam with the ice effect on it, but I mean, actually, there's actually, like, quite a few features in Super Metroid that are, like, exclusive to Super Metroid that I actually really, really like. In fact, like, with the inventory system, so actually, I just want to find a good place to, like, pause and show you guys. So we'll pause it right here. So if we go into our inventory, like, in Super Metroid and this game only, like, you can actually, like, disable, like, upgrades and stuff. So if I wanted to, we can actually disable the ice beam right here. So yeah, we could just do that with, like, kind of all of our upgrades and stuff. So we can disable, like, whatever we want, whenever we want it, and then just re-enable it for when we feel the time is necessary, or the time is right, sorry. So again, like I said, that's just something that's in Super Metroid and that's exclusive to this game. Okay, took some damage, but that's okay, because there's, like, 3 expansions through this door here. First, we have our missile expansion, and then through a secret area, we have our second and third ones. I find that missile expansion, like, a little clever, because it's, like, hidden within the block itself that an enemy's just kind of running over. Okay, we need the frozen seahorse a little bit more. And, okay, the platforms come back. Okay, and now we have a reserve tank. So basically what this is, it's kind of like an energy tank, but, like, it only, like, does its job when your regular energy tanks, like, run out of health. So if we run out of health, like, you know, an energy tank will automatically kind of come on and replenish, you know, as much health as it. Frick, I can't speak English all of a sudden. They'll replenish as much health as they have stored. So if you have, like, one full reserve tank, like, it'll restore one full tank for when it becomes active. Now, of course, we see, like, the auto function active there, but currently it's, like, eventually it'll change, like, to yellow once we have it, like, once we're at full health and we're filling up, like, the energy for the tanks. Nope. And it's hard to go through Norfair without taking any damage, I find. I mean, at least that's just my experience. Alright. Well, I'm feeling kind of lonely in this VC by myself, so once we're on the elevator, I'll actually kind of join some of my other friends in the other VC. Just kind of give myself some company and just kind of talk about this game with them. Because so far, I've only really just been talking to myself.
I am a very sensitive guy, and if you're just going to treat me rude, then I have no other
Is things still doing it?
Okay, never mind about the whole Discord thing. It looks like we're just having some small difficulties here. Oh, careful now. Oh. Wasted a little bit of time having to climb back up after that fall, but no, we're doing good. We're doing good. And as we carry on along, we'll get our next item, or like our last little spot for our hotbar at the top there, the X-ray scope, which actually kind of helps you to find hidden areas. Remind me again, where is it? Oh crap, I'm actually kind of like at a loss here, so I'm not quite sure, like, what's, where exactly is the scope? Oh yeah, it's actually like right down this way, so we need to go back downwards. We need to go, yeah, we need to go through our power, we need to go through that power bomb door we opened up earlier. And since we now have the grapple beam, we can actually kind of mosey on our way through here safely. Or at least like the remaining half of it. Or like third of it, I don't know. Up this way, keep going along. Yeah, there we go, there we go. I almost missed it. I just about made the foolish mistake and missed it. I mean, I wasted a little bit of time, but again, it's not about world record state, guys. We're just here to have fun. And now that we have the X-ray scope, we can actually use it to find hidden areas or hidden passageways. It's super cool and all if you're like new to Metroid, but obviously I found like a few hidden passageways, so I won't be making like heavy use of it. And now back we go, which we're actually heading back up to our ship for a brief refuel on supplies, and then we're going to a different area of Criteria. And actually, that's something I find interesting about this room. It's like if you destroy those little fireflies. Okay, holy crap! I'm taking some damage from the spike, so I might want to. Okay, we're out of there now. So, like, I find something interesting about that room. Actually, there's a couple rooms you might like it. So, you know, if you're thinking, like, if you damage those, like, if you destroy those little fireflies, like, the room will steadily become darker and darker, so it's, like, harder to see where you're going. See what I mean? it's a little tricky to go through some areas without taking damage or just being very, very slow about it. So yeah, good thing we're heading back to our ship. Alright, so here we are back in kind of like the area we started in with the game, Criteria. So now if we just mosey on our way through, we can actually kind of head back to the area where our ship is at. In which we'll just make a brief stop here to save and refuel our supplies. So as we can see here, for those people watching, we have come upon a wrecked ship. Not sure who it actually belonged to, whether it was like the pirates, the Chozo, the Federation. I'm actually not quite sure who actually used to own this ship, but it's most certainly wrecked. And there are ghosts lurking around and other creepy things. Now, if you're wondering about how we restore power here, don't worry. The power will actually come back to the ship once we've actually beaten our second boss needed to fight Motherbrain, or Phantoon. Or to get to Motherbrain, I should say. So yeah, Motherbrain has definitely got more than just really a Discord Modzilla on her side, because now she has this, spirit monster squid thing known as the Phantoon. And you can only damage it when its eye is open, and of course waiting for opportunities is a little bit tricky sometimes. Just gotta sit in the corner and wait for the opportunity to strike. Yeah, this sort of attack that it does right here, like, it's easy to dodge if you use, like, the pseudo-super attack, or the charge attack, as it's sometimes called. You know, just some, like, spin jumping with, like, a fully charged beam. So it makes you pretty much invincible from those fireballs that's currently pucking at us. I should probably start moving around a little bit more if I don't want to take as much damage as I've been taking. Right, almost got it. Won't take much more of a beating now, will he? Yeah, that's the strange thing I showed you about, like, so apparently that sort of thing where it was, like, standing at, like, the top of the room and just, you know, giving us, like, wave after wave of, these fireballs, like, these fiery eyeballs, like, I guess it only does that, like, this boss only does that when you use super missiles as a sort of punishment, so, very interesting sort of mechanic that Nintendo's got going on here for, like, a 1994 game. Alright, I think just a couple more hits and Van 2 will actually go down, and power will be restored to the wrecked ship. Right, there we go, we got him now. Okay, hang on a moment. I was just alerted of some technical difficulties, so I'm just looking over it to make sure everything's okay. Okay, that's good, Sorry, if chat's wondering, I was alerted to some technical difficulties, like I couldn't be heard on Discord, but I think my voice is still good on YouTube, so for those of you in chat, just let me know if you can still kind of hear my voice through like the microphone, and let alone with the volume between, you know, my mic and my game is good. Okay, I have no idea what I was just doing. I guess I was just trying to like crouch and angle and shoot, but that just went horribly wrong on me, didn't it now? Oh boy. Now this room I honestly don't like very much because, you know, it's another one of those rooms where you have to like clear out all the enemies in order to get through, but there's just like all like sparks. I mean, obviously these sparks will like damage you if you're not careful with them, just like it did right there. Alright, the hatches are now open, so we're just going to make a quick run back to the other end here, because this is where our next missile expansion is. Or some kind of expansion, I actually can't quite remember. There is a expansion, though. Alright, we just gotta roll underneath. Oh. Gotta be nice and careful because of all these sparks. Obviously, it's a wrecked ship, so there's gonna be a lot of damage. Then, of course, there's these bootleg GOG droids from Star Wars kind of shooting at us, but they're easy to push back with like beams, so they create like a pathway for you to get this missile expansion that's here. But now that we have that missile expansion, we can actually go back. And this is actually the area where we get the gravity suit. You know, the various suit 2.0. You know, my favorite suit upgrade in all of Metroid. Die. Now, I'm going to admit, back when I first played Super Metroid, this section of the game was actually very confusing because there's a very specific way you have to get into the wrecked ship in order to get the gravity suit, so I'll just walk you guys through it now. I mean, first I'm going to show you guys how to get, or I'm just going to go ahead and get the expansion that's right here. So, you gotta stand on this block, jump up, fire a super missile, and then, yeah, this is one of those situations where, like, the X-ray scope comes in, like, super stupid handy because there are actually some blocks over here, and if you walk through them, you'll fall all the way back down and you have to start the whole process over again. Oh, back up we go. And now we just go back a little ways, we backtrack, and, you know, there we go. We see that there is a passageway through here, and this is actually the way we must go in order to get the gravity suit. Again, this game, it does have a very, very particular way of getting into the wrecked ship, or the part of the wrecked ship that gives you the gravity suit. It's very, very particular about it. But again, to the untrained Metroid player, it can be very confusing at times. But of course, we're greeted with a pit full of spikes and, you know, the need for the grapple beam, in which I fell into those spikes. I'm okay. I've only punctured a few organs, but I'm still in peak physical condition. But we go over to this Jozo statue here, which actually guides us to where the gravity suit is beyond the spikes. Surprise, surprise, there's a secret area right here. And along with actually the gravity suit, there's also another way to get the second of four reserve tanks. Sorry, I forgot what the item was for a moment, but yeah, first we get the gravity suit, which is my personal favorite suits. Again, this Super Metroid is where it just debuted with a lot of Samus's upgrades that we'll be seeing in Metroid Dread. I mean, who knows if we'll see, like, power bombs or whatever, because, you know, from the Metroid Dread report in, like, the trailer, or one of the trailers that came out, they showed off a new upgrade called Cross Bombs, and I'm not sure if that's going to be a stand-in for power bombs, or if there'll be a separate, power bombs will still be in Metroid Dread, but it's a separate thing. Come on, move along, I have a speedrun to do. Alright, so we have a missile, and now we actually have to use a power bomb to destroy the Jozo statue. And that reveals a little area right behind us, in which we use our speed booster to kind of get a shine spark going, and we boost upwards. And as you guys could briefly see, we took a little bit of damage from, like, the shine spark ascent, which, again, thankfully that only happens in Super Metroid. So now we just fall back down, in which, again, if I wasn't watching, that probably would have set me back, but, you know, again, that's why the X-ray visor exists, so you can watch out for, like, little hazards that'll send you all the way back. But with the gravity suit in our possession now, we can actually go down to, like, the next area of this game, Meridia. And again, the gravity suit, its purpose is, like, it actually negates the effects of water and lava, so you can move through them like they practically don't exist. But yeah, now we're moving on to the water environments of Super Metroid Meridia. Now I guess I should probably just say my thoughts about Meridia until we actually get there, because I've got a couple things to say about, like, water environments in Metroid games between this game, Metroid Fusion, and you know, the Prime games. we just gotta make a quick detour. Before we go to Meridia, we just gotta make a quick detour through this room here. And this is where we'll actually get another energy expansion. See what I mean? Okay, a few spikes here and there, but it's okay. We just got another energy expansion. Okay, so now that we have the the energy expansions and the gravity suit, we can actually head on down to Meridia, where we'll find our third of 4 bosses, Dragoon. You know, in spite of all the eerie music we hear in Super Metroid, like, there's quite a few, like, bops in there. Obviously, there's, like, the Bridstar theme when we were exploring that sort of jungle environments. There's a theme that's currently playing here in Criteria, the theme of Samus Aran, in which, again, if you've played Super Smash Bros., you might have heard this music before, but this is where it actually comes from. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot that those little things exist. Again, for untrained Metroid players, that area that I just walked through right there, that's a big place where you'd actually need like the X-ray scope so that you don't get lost. And now here we are in the underwater environment of planet Zebes, Meridia, and there's actually quite a few good soundtracks in here. In which that's actually what brings me to like my next sort of tidbit about Metroid games, and one thing I find in common about them. Like in the underwater areas like Meridia here and other ones like Torvus Bog, Sector 4, and Metroid Fusion, which we'll be playing next Saturday, and just all the environments in general, like they're very hard to navigate at first if you're new to Metroid. Like, so if you're playing a Metroid game for the first time, you'll typically find that like the underwater environments are like difficult to navigate, but at the same time, like the music in those environments is like, it's peaceful. It's like the ideal type of like study lo-fi music, you know what I'm saying? Now, of course, again, this music isn't exactly the most like listening to this for studying material, but eventually we'll get to a different area of Meridia that'll have like much better music that you can vibe to while you study and do whatever. Okay, and it's actually in Meridia here that there's actually like another sort of trick you can pull off. Now you gotta be very careful in this room because there's actually a couple of those like those claw things waiting to grab you, and if they grab you, like they'll drag you down to like a deep part of Meridia, and you'll just be stuck in this big loop. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's in this particular room that I actually have more pro stuff to show off. Like normally you would need the space jump to get up this little area here, so once we beat Dragoon, we get the space jump, but as you can see, I'm actually like, okay, as soon as I can wall jump properly, you'll see that I am just cruising through this without a doubt in the world, or without a care in the world. Okay, so it looks like speedrunning gods are not with us today, because normally I can easily just wall jump up that whole length like a pro. But even so, I guess it's not really important that we go up that way, for now at least, because, you know, there's like a door that eventually leads you to the Plasma Beam, but until we actually beat Dragoon, that door will actually be locked, so we don't get the Plasma Beam and Spring Ball until after we've beaten our next boss. Yeah, we go through here, and this actually takes us a tube that takes us all the way down to, like, the bottom of Meridia. So, once again, just kind of like our first few trips through Norfair, we're just going through one big loop of sorts. And if we go right, that's actually what takes us to the Spring Ball upgrade. Oh, this room. I have never once liked this room, to be fully honest. Which is why I'm just going to briefly set ourselves back a ways. And we're just going to use... Oh man, it's just the quicksand that's just so infuriating about this room, I find. Like I said, the water environments in Metroid, like, they're super hard to navigate and hard to traverse, but the music is, like, peaceful, you know? I mean, obviously this would be a lot tougher without our gravity suit, but even so, it could be a little bit tough sometimes. And we just gotta go back briefly, because there might be an expansion here that I've actually never noticed until now. Oh! So all this time, there was just a secret passageway that I could have gone through to avoid all the quicksand falls and those little creatures. Well, even a Metroid Pro needs to be taught a few things here and there, so yeah, feel free to laugh at me in the chat. But yeah, we now have our map data for Meridia, which, as we can see, is like pretty freaking big. But even with the map data, again, this area can be very hard to navigate sometimes. Oh, but what's this? We've actually returned to Brinstar, one of the starting areas of the game. Yeah, and actually, as you notice, as we're going down to Norfair, like, we actually pass through, like, that big glass tube of sorts. And this is actually where we need power bombs. I mean, technically, I could have just blown this tube up earlier without power bombs, but obviously it'd be a waste without the gravity suit without us to properly navigate. But yeah, we could just completely blow that tube up, kind of like the one in the Space Pirate Mothership in Zero Mission. And now we can explore even more of Meridia. And in addition, we have some very peaceful music to go along with this environment, like I said. For the 3 people watching the stream, just feel free to start vibing with me as we listen to this peaceful music as I just blast enemies and do other things. Now I'm just going to want to open that door up because this is where we actually need another Shine Spark. We line ourselves up here and we just fly straight up, and now we have our next missile expansion. This item can actually be a little bit tricky to some at first because there's, like, you have to Shine Spark upwards at a very particular angle, otherwise you'll hit like one of the platforms and just waste your health and time. Oh, this entire place in Meridia is a complete labyrinth. So now I'm just gonna briefly pull out my... Okay, as you saw, that crowd just kind of walked right into the wall, so I will just curl into my Morph Ball and... Okay. No. I will curl in... Okay, maybe I think I need to reveal it with, like, the X-ray scope first. There we go. It takes a little bit of, effort at first, and, yeah. But even so, we've gotten through, we have our next... We actually had... I think this is our, like, first Super Missile expansion since we got Super Missiles. Yeah, Super Missiles are, like, Super Missile expansions aren't quite as findable in Super Metroid up until you kind of get to this point. I mean, at least that's from my experience. Now, if we go along this way, again, we're not supposed to go this way, but if we go along this way, we'll actually find ourselves searching for, you know, another missile and energy expansion. But of course, it won't exactly be easy because we have some pink space pirates in here. But the thing about the pink space pirates is that, like, you actually, like, none of your attacks can actually damage them, so you need the plasma beam for them. See what I mean? Okay, and this is not the right place, so let me just set ourselves back a little ways. I know in the speedrunning community this would be, like, cheating technically, but again, we're not out to set world records here. I don't know how many times I have to say that to you. So I mean, I guess you guys aren't really needing to be reminded of it. So, I mean, I guess I'm just constantly the one repeating myself. Like, we're not out to set world records, we're just here to have fun, really. But even so, I could have gone without, you know, setting myself back like that. Now, this particular missile expansion is also a little bit iffy, so we just gotta get up here, use our power bombs, and that will reveal the expansion right below us. Now, as for the energy expansion in this room, which is the primary goal here, like, we actually have to go down here, and if we look closely, there's actually, like, look at these little guys. Like, they look like they're pretty much like those enemies, like the little blue beetle enemies from, like, the Mario games. So, very nice cameo there. Please take us back upwards. Okay, I'm gonna need to rewind here. Ugh, come on now. Okay, come on. I almost had it there. Come on. There we go. This could be a little bit tricky to get without the space jump, but hey, I mean, we were doing a few things early without the space jump. I mean, we sequence broke a few times, but yeah, I mean, obviously you can get it with the grapple beam, but it's just a little tricky to get it. Like, it's easier to get it with the space jump, but you can get it without the space jump. But anyways, I guess we've stalled it long enough, so... Okay, even though those pink pirates are immune to the are untouchable without the plasma beam, at least you can still, like, run right through them with the speed booster. But anyways, we've wasted enough time, so let's just kind of get back on task, shall we? Now, we'll just be very careful here because, you know, we can just propel ourselves upwards, and this is where our next door is. Again, a little tricky sometimes. Ah, come on, I almost had it right there. There we go, we got it now. Lost our momentum, but that's okay. There's a few items in this room right here, but afterwards we need to actually, like, break the floor in that previous room we were in. Oh, okay, of course, you know, those little gaffers are gonna, like, mess up my runs and all that, but it's okay. But if we go down this little chasm right here, or this little pit, we actually have a double whammy. We have a super missile expansion and a missile expansion right next to it. And we'll actually find, in just like probably less than 5 minutes, we'll find ourselves in a very similar situation where there's two expansions not very far apart from each other at all. I mean, I guess we've gone through like one situation like that already, like the, you know, the little Super Mario World Easter egg that we found, but you know, even still, there's still more Easter eggs to find, or situations where we find two items in a single room that are very easy to get. Alright, back down we go. We've got all the expansions we need for the time being. So now we just need to break the floor right here. Oh yes, this room. I always find that this room, it can be very, very tricky to, it was always very tricky to me, as was a lot of places in Meridia, but very briefly, we'll just hit a save station right here, and then we will, you know, carry on. We'll get the expansions that are in this room. Actually, there's quite a few expansions you can get from the access in this room, but, you know, the expansions we're going to focus on right now focus on, you know, shine sparking. Now we just shine spark straight upwards. We have a missile tank, and then if we just be very careful and dodge the fragile blocks that are separating us from our super missile expansion, boom, we have the super missile expansion now. Just trying to remember what's actually through this door here. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, now I remember. This is actually... Remember how I mentioned there was, like, those, like, pincher things that, like, drag you down to, like, the bottom of Meridia? I think this is actually where those, pincher things lead you, now that I think about it. Again, you can easily use the Grapple Beam to go up, like, the vertical walls here, but, you know, obviously it's very, very tricky. I mean, I find it to be very, very tricky, but... But yeah, this is why wall jumping exists. And another thing, too, like, wall jumping was, like, first invented here in Super Metroid, and, like, it's never explicitly taught to you how to do it. Like, there's actually, like, a couple, like, secret encounters with, like, some small creatures here that actually teach you how to do this stuff. So, I mean, we'll interact with them later, and they'll actually be very important. So, because there's, there's like a special ending you can get if you actually save the creatures at the end of the game with the whole planet's, set to self-destruct. But yeah, we'll get to them eventually, but they're the ones that actually teach you how to do, like, the Shine Spark and wall jump tricks. But yeah, in here we have our next boss, the Botswoon, which is essentially just like a giant sea snake. Very easy to fight if you just know where he's gonna pop out of. Where is he popping out next? Oh, okay, he moves really fast at low health, so you want to make sure you hit your shots. And just like that, the Botswoon is down easy peasy. Again, you guys are, I mean, if Ash were watching this, he'd just probably be blown away just seeing how I'm speedrunning this. And this is actually, like, this place right here is actually where you want to try and do a Shine Spark trick because, you know, there's some speed booster blocks, and getting across it without destroying those blocks can be a bit of a hassle here, so... Oh, okay. Again, you want to do it carefully here, otherwise you'll just waste energy and time. Come on. Alright, I'm just gonna rerun real quick. Okay, come on! What am I doing wrong? There we go, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Now, with that Shine Spark that I just pulled off there, you want to be extremely careful because, you know, I think it was like... I can't remember if it was during my Super Metroid Let's Play series or if it was during, like, one of my own casual playthroughs, but you want to be very, very careful with that Shine Spark there, because if you get stuck in this quicksand on your way down, like, you know, obviously the sand will actually, like, slow you down to, like, a crawl, and obviously, and since, you know, the Shine Spark, like, drains your health, like, it'll drain your health very, very quickly, and I think I just narrowly survived that error back when that happened to me. So if you choose to Shine Spark through this little room like I did there, be very, very careful that you don't get stuck in the quicksand while doing so. But yeah, these creatures we're fighting, they're essentially like, sort of like failed experiments, like failed clones of the Metroid that was captured by Ridley, because, I mean, obviously the space pirates are back and they're gonna further their plans, they're gonna continue the plans that they set up in Metroid Zero Mission, so of course they're back to cloning Metroids. Again, the Grapple Beam does have some damaging properties, but I recommend only really using it against, like, the very, very weak enemies, like these, I actually forgot what their real name is, but, like, it's like, they're basically, like Metroids that weren't cloned properly. Alley-oop. I mean, aside from getting lost in Meridia, like, you know, the parkour stuff that they have you do in this area is, like, very precarious sometimes. It's honestly kind of a little annoying at times. But yes, our next boss, the Dragoon, is just not very far away, so we don't need to hit the energy recharge station, so we'll just hit the save station right here, just in case something goes wrong. But even so, like, regardless of whether you're speedrunning or not, Dragoon is, like, a very, very easy boss to defeat. And you're about to find out why, my lovely 3 viewers who are watching this stream. Or 4 watchers now. We got 4 watchers now. That's definitely cause for celebration. Okay. Oh. There we go. We got that by, like, a pixel. Now, of course, we see, like, the spikes down here aren't actually moving, and that's because these spikes are actually fake. Kind of like the lava in, like, Metroid Zero Mission a couple of times. Like, the lava, like, the spikes here are just an illusion, because, you know, we go down this way and we fight our next boss, the Dragoon. has a theme very similar to that of Ridley, so we want to be careful here. And another thing too, like another pro tip from one Metroid player to another, like you're gonna want to destroy these like ports here because they will be very, very handy. Now don't mind these little creatures here, they're not very important for like the boss fight itself. But what we want to do is just kind of position ourselves right by this like crab creature, just aim up and be ready to fire our 2 super missiles at the Dragoon when he shows up. Like that. Okay, that's actually the first time I've actually evaded being grabbed by the Dragoon. I've actually never fought the Dragoon before without getting, like, grabbed in that sort of slime that he spits. But even so, I guess we should just kind of get grabbed for the heck of it, because it's very... Like, I mean, obviously, like, we'll take a little bit of damage from him doing that, but with those ports that we actually opened up earlier, we can actually use the Grapple Beam to kind of latch onto it. Now, of course, we'll take a little bit of damage from, like, latching onto the ports we have opened up here, but, I mean, at the same time, we'll kill Dragoon really easily, so... There we go, just like that. Again, we'll take some damage, but there we go. The Dragoon is down. Again, I could have easily beaten him without having to get grabbed like that, but I guess I'm not really used to, like, actually having to do that. So I'm normally used to him, like, grabbing me and then just having to, like, use my Grapple Beam, like, do the whole Grapple Beam trick I did there. But yeah, we go through here, that's our 3rd of 4 bosses defeated, and now we have the space jump in which we can just somersault through the air endlessly. And obviously with our space jump now, like traversing this particular area of Meridia is like so much easier. Okay, I got like 3 of these bootleg Metroids on my tail. Like, oh god, 4 of them now. But again, they're super easy, like to the point where you don't even need like missiles to defeat them. Okay, I just need a moment to remember, because if I go through this one... okay, if I go straight down, this is actually what takes us to the spring ball. You know, the morph ball jump thing. Actually, there's a couple things we can get here. But this expansion is typically a little bit of a troublesome one, because, you know, if you touch these little creature things, they'll, like, start rolling. So it's very convoluted to do, and obviously, again, not having the spring ball does not help at all. Now, of course, we come all this way just for a missile recharge station, but even so, I guess we'll take it, and then we'll carry on our way to get the plasma beam and spring ball abilities, let alone other expansions that come across our way. Oh. Okay, never realized that I could actually do that. Okay, let's see, I just need to check my bearings once again. So yeah, I think this area is actually what kind of takes you back to that sort of central area we explored earlier, in which we can actually get like the spring ball and plasma beams from this area, or from that area. Alright, so we're back to where we kind of started, more or less. So, yeah, now with our space jump, we can actually kind of go back up to where I tried to go earlier via wall jumping, but, I mean, it would have been in... So this hatch right here that's blinking, like, that will actually be locked up until we beat Dragoon. So, I mean, we could have easily gotten up here with the wall jump here without the space jump, which is essentially what I tried to do. But I mean, it would have been in vain because, you know, we can't even do anything until we beat the boss of this area. Okay, we're starting to run low on health, so we might want to be a bit more cautious now. But yeah, we continue somersaulting through here, and this will actually take us to where we can get our next upgrade, the Plasma Beam. Yep, and we're greeted with a room full of these pink pirates, in which they're not so invincible now that we have the Plasma Beam. Oh man, any Metroid player should look forward to getting the Plasma Beam, because this thing is like super stupid powerful. And actually, a strange thing too about the Plasma Beam that I noticed in this game, so let me pull up the inventory again. So whenever you get the Plasma Beam, the Spacer just kind of automatically deactivates, and like vice versa. So yeah, I mean, I guess never mind. I guess whenever you have the Plasma Beam active, like the Spacer will kind of automatically deactivate, which I guess makes a little bit of sense because you know, the Plasma Beam seems like a little spread out. Now, where's that last pink pirate? There you are. Thought you could escape the wrath of the mighty Samus Aran? You thought wrong. And obviously, again, since our Plasma Beam is so, like, overpowered, like, not only does it do so much more damage, but it actually, again, pierces through, like, multiple enemies at once. And since we have the Plasma Beam, like, much earlier than we do in, like, Metroid Zero Mission, you know, obviously we can do a lot more stuff with it. Alright, we're just gonna quickly go back down this tube here that takes us all the way to the bottom of the Meridia. But now that we have the space jump, we can now more easily traverse the sort of left hatch that we have yet to go through. This is, again, the one that takes us to the spring ball. Oh. Almost a flawless run right there. But yeah, again, as you see, much easier than without the space jump. Now this room's also a little interesting too, because you have to wait until that grapple beam block breaks, and then you have to like jump up through this little secret area here. And this is actually what takes you around to where you can actually get the Plasma Beam, because if you just go through the hatch there, you'll just be met with a dead end. Might want to have the charge attack or pseudo screw attack or whatever people prefer to call it ready, because these darn flies tend to have a habit of disrupting that space jump when you're just right at the top. See what I'm saying? Because this is actually what takes us to the spring ball. I might have accidentally said Plasma Beam, but yeah, okay, I need to rewind because we actually need to come in here with power bombs active, because you need to destroy this wall. Thankfully, this robot here will now be harmed by the power bomb explosion. But now that his like arms, whatever, will actually like destroy these blocks that we can't destroy otherwise. And this is what takes us to the spring ball, which again allows us to jump in our morph ball without using bombs. Which, again, I've said this earlier, it's like freaking, it's so stupid, honestly, because you would think we would have the ability to jump in our morph ball mode by default, and plus the fact it's even stupider how this is like one of the last suit upgrades that you get. It's like I'm pretty sure it's like the second last upgrade you can get in this game next to the screw attack. And speaking of, yeah, we are definitely making a lot of progress, because we're actually almost done with the game by this point. All we need to do is fight Ridley, collect some more expansions, and then it's off to fight Motherboard in the rebuilt pirate base. Alright, just up we go a little more, and now we have the spring ball, which again is just absolute BS considering how, you know, just how late you get it and just why you don't have it by default. I mean, at least in Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion, like, you get the spring ball ability along with your high jump boots, so you collect the high jump boots and it'll automatically kind of add the jumping ability to your morph ball. Like I said, it's just so dumb how you get it so late in this game. But yeah, I'm just gonna stop whining because we have everything we need now, so now we can just kind of go back the way we came. Wait a minute. Actually, I just realized I was going to go through the super missile thing right here, but, you know, I just realized it's actually kind of quicker to get to Norfair if we just go back the way we came, to the passageway that takes us to Bryn Star. Because, I mean, obviously that's like... Yeah. Alright, we're back here again, and with so many more abilities compared to when we last left Norfair, we can explore even more of this hot, fiery place. And this is actually kind of the run that takes us to Ridley's lair that's not too far away. Now, of course, the Ridley boss fight, I find that to be kind of my least favorite because, like, you know, Ridley's a little hard to hit, and he'll do, like, so much damage if you're not, like, quick-witted and careful. So that being said, like, I can't, you know, it's just one of those days where you just can't speak English, you know, like, you talked for so long. But yeah, we have the map data now, and, you know, like, Ridley's actual lair isn't actually shown on the map, so that's a little bit of a twist right there. I could have gone to get the item that I just power bombed, but I just remembered that it's like a one-way gate, and I think you need like super missiles on that end of the gate. So that being said, I guess the item's not really worth it. Alright, so as we venture deeper and deeper into Norfair, we're definitely going to want to try and prioritize like the stockpiling of health and missiles. Like, particularly super missiles, I find we're going to want to try and stock up on, because, I mean, super missiles are like 5 times as strong as, you know, regular missiles. So, obviously, those will get the job done a lot quicker than regular missiles. Here we are, guys, Ridley's lair. And yeah, you might also recognize the music from Metroid Prime or Super Smash Bros. So, I mean, originally you would think that it actually originates from Metroid Prime, but truth be told, this is actually where it originates from, so yeah. I'll give you guys a moment to listen to it, and I'll just shut up, just so you can kind of realize where the Megaport Cavern theme really comes from. Oh, and right here we actually have our next boss. Oh, no, okay, actually, I don't want to stop until I just wanted to rewind solely because I don't want to miss this missile expansion, because you can't actually go back to it with the route we're actually taking. So yeah, that being said, let's just grab this, and let's actually get ready for our next boss fight. So, remember how we fought that Shozo statue after we got Morph Ball Bombs? Well, it's back, or at the very least, it just sent its cousin after us. Now, back in my Let's Play series of Super Metroid, I actually had, like, such a tough time with this boss. Like, it was just so stupidly hard for me. Well, you know, now that I've actually played through Super Metroid a few times, you know, it's, like, so much, like, easier, and especially considering, like, how overpowered the plasma beam is. I mean, technically, I could use, like, super missiles on it, but A, I want to save my super missiles, and B, like, if you use super missiles in this boss fight, like, if you shoot them directly at the torso, as it's called, like, the official name for this boss is, like, the torso, or at least this boss in particular is, like, the golden torso, but, like, it'll actually grab your missiles in midair and then just throw them back at you, so using missiles isn't exactly a recommended course of action for this boss fight. Oh, and there we go. Just like that, it's actually dead. Man, to think that, like, okay, let's see. How old was I when I first played Super Metroid in 2016? So, I think it was, like, 14, 15-year-old me. Man, I can't believe, like, 14-year-old me had, like, such a hard time fighting that boss, because it is so stupidly easy to fight now that I have, like, so many more skills up my arsenal. I mean, obviously, I guess I didn't really know much better, but, yeah, man, to think I had such a hard time with that boss. But yeah, right through this door, we actually have our final upgrade, the screw attack. And yes, if you've played Super Smash Bros. Before, this does exactly the same thing as it does in Super Smash Bros. It just turns you into a flying ball of death. And with it, you can destroy enemies and blocks that you touch, so it's super, super cool. Again, we'll just save up on our energy too, because again, Ridley will do a lot of damage. Okay, we experience a little bit of lag, but that's only because of, like, the game, not just, like, system. Yeah, yes, the Golden Pirates. And there's actually, like, as we get even closer to Ridley, we'll actually find, like, a very, like, special type of space pirates that I actually happen to get a good kick out of. And you'll see eventually once we get there, which won't be very long at all now. As soon as I can jump right, that is. Yes, the lava's rising, and for some reason, you know, our gravity suit isn't actually, like, immune to this particular lava, so you just gotta be very quick and just keep screw attacking upwards. Yes, right through this shrine, creepy shrine to the cunning god of death, aka Ridley, we have our 8th energy tank. So again, the more energy tanks, the merrier, especially considering who we're about to go up against. And of course, again, there's more of those fireflies, so we gotta be careful not to damage them so that we can still see properly. But even so, I know where I'm going, so it's not a really big deal. Well, actually, you can kind of see like the luminosity starting to like change and like the reflection of these blocks. So maybe keeping those fireflies alive is a good thing. May as well hit the save station right here, and even when we're right outside like Ridley's door, I'll actually set like a restore point in case I die, because again, Ridley's boss fight is like very merciless from my experience, so I don't want to take any chances. See, I don't want to step outside because there's that big thing right there, and I wanted to try and conserve health, but it forced my hand. I mean, I guess I could have easily just one-shotted it with Screw Attack, but, I mean, it was just waiting for me right outside the sort of little passageway, so that's why I didn't want to take any chances at first. But yeah, another Power Bomb expansion. And actually, I do. Well, I mean, obviously, why wouldn't like power bombs damage Ridley in the upcoming boss fight? But I mean, I guess it's not quite like a preferred course of action because you know they have like such a short fuse, and Ridley comes at you like so quickly. Okay, and here's those like special space powers that I was talking about. So they're like sort of like special forces, and like you can't damage them at all. So like they'll throw their claws at you, and they'll kick you and stuff, and eventually they'll do like a front flip, and then they'll like kick dive you, which they turn golden, and that's essentially your opportunity to destroy them. I find that the mechanics for these pirates in particular are actually very interesting because you can't damage them otherwise without them doing that right there. So yeah, it makes me wish enemies like that were a little bit more common. I mean, I guess we have those enemies showing up a lot in like Samus Returns and Dread, so I mean, I guess for a 1984 game, like I said, that's just my ideas. Grab that health because we're going to need it. Okay, hang on. I just gotta rewind real quick because I do not want to waste super missiles for this situation. There we go. Now I just want to very quickly reclaim that one super missile because, again, everything is important for what we're about to do. There we go. Power bombs aren't quite as important, but we'll still use them as they come. But here we go. It's time to fight Ridley. Now, very quickly, I just want to set like a restore points, like a create a suspend point. Overwrite this data. There we go. Game saved. Okay, just in case things go wrong, but it's you and me now, Ridley. Ow. Okay. Okay, we're definitely doing damage to Ridley because he's gotten a little bit redder now. I find that like a lot of this fight actually relies solely on like maneuverability. I mean, obviously Ridley's not 100% invincible, but if you screw attack properly, he's it's kind of like the Platoon fight. If you spin jump just right, you'll actually like dodge certain attacks. Alright, he's coming around this end, in which we actually have a power bomb ready for him. Alright, where's he coming this time? Okay, he's definitely smart. He's definitely smart. He knows how to dodge on power bombs. Come on, die, Ridley. Alright, we're down to about half our health. Well, obviously Ridley's probably a lot lower, but still, we want to be careful because you don't know... Oh, okay. Come on, die. Okay, running low on missiles. Thankfully, I don't think Ridley will take too much more than beating either, so, I mean, we should still be careful until then, so... Okay. Oh, did we get him? Oh, we actually got him! Okay. Yeah, because sometimes if you're not careful, like, Ridley will actually, like, grab you like that, and he'll actually, like, die. Okay. Well, I mean, that's essentially it, guys. Like, the path to, like, the Space Pirate base is essentially, open now. But we go through here and we find that the baby Metroid that Ridley abducted is actually gone. So like I said, now we're essentially into the end game now. We're essentially just on our way to fight Mother Brain. So that being said, on our journey back, we'll try and collect as many expansions as we can. just collecting just so we're not, I mean, just make sure that we're not collecting like too many, just so we're saving time. But yeah, even so, it's on the way to Motherboard now, guys. Now we could bother with these special forces space pirates. I'm not sure what they're technically called, but we won't really bother with them, considering how you only really need to meet them in order to go to Ridley. But now that we're done Ridley, we don't exactly have to worry about fighting them in order to like unlock the door. Oh, I actually didn't even know that that existed, like that little secret passageway we went through. Alright, let's see. What items can we still bother ourselves to grab? Oh yeah, I guess there's actually the one that's... Yeah, I mean, I get at this point, actually, before we go to fight Motherboard, we actually have to interact with... I'm not sure if we have to interact with the little animals that teach us, like the Shine Spark and wall jump tricks, but I just still feel like doing so. And plus, you can still get, like, a couple of expansions in Brinstar. Actually, there's quite a few items in Brinstar that we have actually missed up until this point. That was our last trip down to Norfair. And that's actually, like, there's actually, like, a couple items in, like, the old Space Pirate base, you know, the one from the original Metroid. They actually have a couple items in there, so I just want to quickly grab those, too, before we actually go to fight Motherboard itself. Or in the new Space Pirate base, I should say. Alright, and this is our first time going back to sort of this little leg of Brinstar since we kind of started out the game. And just look at how much more powerful we are compared to when we started out. May as well let you guys listen to this jam whilst I hunt for items a little bit longer. Yes, that's right. This little passageway that we're currently in is actually taking us back to, like, you know, the original Brinstar. And if we just set off another power bomb here, you know, we're right where we got the Morph Ball. And the reason I kind of went back to this area in particular is, you know, I mean, I could easily access the Space Pirate base from here, but I just want to quickly go around and grab a couple, like, there's like an energy tank here, and then of course, again, we need to interact with the animals and collect some other different items. And then and only then will we be clear to go off to fight Mother Brain. So yeah, it was right up here the whole time, but I couldn't reach it at the time. I couldn't reach it back when we first came through here because I didn't have, you know, the high jump boots nor boom balls, as you would call them if you were here. I mean, who knows, he could just be in the chat, or he could easily be one of the people watching the stream and I'm just not noticing it. Alright, we're back here, and this is actually where we not only encounter... Well, actually, this is where we get one of our energy expansions. We just need to set off a power bomb, which reveals that little length right here. And this takes us down all the way to here, where we can get a new energy expansion. May as well just take care of those pests first before I start the speed booster. And there we go. And now back we go, because this is where we encounter the Decoras. I think that's what they're called, Decoras. I mean, Samus elaborates on their names in Metroid Fusion, which again, we'll be playing Metroid Fusion next week for our last stream before Metroid Dread's release. So, yeah, we'll be... So saving the animals in, like, the ending of this game is actually pretty important. So, I mean, not just in terms of, like, the ending that we'll get, but because of, like, the lore and stuff. Right, come on. Now, we're close to the end of the game. Don't want to be messing up my jumps now. Alright, and right through here is where we actually learn how to Shine Spark if you didn't already. So if you speed boost down that way, you'll fall into this pit. And now, of course, we'll see this, we'll see that ostrich-like creature there, which I believe that's called a Dakora. I'm not 100% sure, but this is a creature that actually, like, teaches us how to, Shine Spark. So we get running along with him, you know, he starts speed boosting, and then we just Shine Spark upwards, in which he doesn't really seem to make it past the jump there, so rest in peace. Yeah, you can hear that it was still trying to Shine Spark its way out of there. Wait, what's actually through that red hatch? Oh yeah, that's right, there's another item down that way. We'll just grab that on our way back. But yeah, first next we need to interact with the Edicoons, which I believe they're called. They actually teach you how to wall jump. Which again, I kind of knew how to wall jump already because, again, pro Metroid player skills, but yeah, even so, I'll just run through this area because there's a super missile and an energy tank that I can actually collect. Alright, and all we're missing is one energy tank, in which I know how to get it, and it's actually right by our ship. And we'll make that one of the last items we get as we're descending towards the space pirate base. But now we just have to fall down through these blocks here. Now we just roll our way through here, and right on the other end of this wall, or right on the other end of this room, I should say, there will be, you know, our little koala-like tutors. Aren't they adorable? Like, they look like koalas, and they even sing, like, the item acquisition theme. But yeah, again, these guys teach you how to, like, wall jump, which, again, since I already know, I'm just gonna beat them at their own game. Okay, that's that, and normally if you didn't know about that item before, like, one of the little creatures there, as you saw, he was kind of, like, starting to, jump into that little area there. Come on now. Come on. Oh, man, wall jump can be, like, a little picky sometimes, like, even the space jump can be a little bit picky at times in this game. Alright, so I think there's just a couple more items for us to collect here at Gridstar before we head back to Criteria, collect some final expansions, and then we'll go on to Motherboard. Alright, another room full of these things, which again, it just got very dark considering how we just screw attack through like 3 of them. Oh yeah, that's right, there is no item in here, it's just a missile recharge station. I mean, obviously, again, that comes in handy. There are still just a couple more items for us to collect. Now, to get the reserve tank that's on the other end of this, again, we're going to need the speed booster, and since we accidentally triggered that one gate, we just got to go through the door and then right back through, so we have to start over, essentially. And now, we speed run through the 90s. And right through here, we have our third reserve tank. I think there was a reserve tank in Meridia, but I actually forgot where you get it. But I mean, it's not like it matters, because we essentially, like, by the end of the stream, we're essentially going to have, like, every energy tank that you can get in this game. Oh, yeah, that's right. This room, sometimes it confuses me, because one would think there's, like, you'd have to go through, like, the secret passageway that's down there with, like, morph ball bombs, but actually, no, I forgot that there's, like, you know, there's this sort of, secret area here that you have to go up, and it rewards you with a super missile expansion at the end of it. And of course the block here is fragile, so we just fall right back down here. Alright, back up to Criteria, where it's the end game. Alright, I just want to get a speed boost going so I can just plow my way through all these enemies. Oh yeah, that's right, but I forgot they're the ones that can't exactly be destroyed by a speed booster. And like I said, that red hash that's right over here, that's actually what takes us to the new Space Pirate base, but of course we didn't bother with it up until this point, because again, there would just be the golden statue with each of the 4 main bosses, like Dread, Ridley, Vantoon, and Dread. So we couldn't go anywhere until we beat those 4 bosses, so it's like it really mattered at the end of the day. We'll just briefly jaunt on over to our ship to recharge on our supplies. I mean, I was going to go for a couple of the items in the old Space Pirate base, but I'm just not going to bother. Yeah, I don't really feel like bothering with those expansions today, because we've already got ourselves quite a bit of expansions here. I mean, obviously we're still going to focus on like the ones we can still get on our way to the Space Pirate base so we can end off today's stream. Now this room coming up right here is like actually a little bit daunting, because we have the asset that our gravity suit's not invincible to. We have those grabber things that want to grab you, and just, yeah, I'm sure you guys kind of all see like just how precarious this room can be sometimes. But on the bright side, at the end of it all, we have our 12th, actually, let me count for a moment. Yeah, our 14th and final energy expansion. So, yeah, from this stream alone, you guys have learned how to acquire all the energy tanks in Super Metroid. Now, of course, the lava's gonna touch me still. Okay, right down here is actually where we, there's the option to get like 1 of 2 missile expansions. So, okay, I just need to take a look at my scope real quick. Now, of course, we can't get the both of them, but at least we can get like the one of them that's right here. So that's, I mean, that's some benefit at the end of the day. Like I said, we can't reach it because, you know, we can't exactly work our way back up once those brittle blocks have been destroyed. Okay, we need power bombs to destroy it, but, you know, with everything said and done, we can now move our way on over to the Space Pirate base to exterminate the Metroids once again and to destroy Motherboard. Alright, here we are. Once again with the very eerie atmosphere that this game has showcased, more so around the beginning of the game. And like I said, this right here, this is what prevented us from getting into the Space Pirate base. We'd have to destroy each of these 4 bosses, in which we did in order to, you know, sort of activate the mechanisms in the statue, which will now take us down to Mother Brain. Alright, the 4 bosses have been destroyed. And now the path to Mother Brain is clear. Come on, can you recede a little faster, statue? I don't have all day for this. Well, we're here now, and alas, we're on to the end game, you guys. So so much like the old Space Pirate base that we destroyed in Metroid Zero Mission, it's the same principle. We just destroy the Metroids with our ice beams and super missiles, and we're good, essentially. And actually, I really like all the scenery in this game, too. Like, one of the things... I mean, there's a lot of things I actually like about this game, as, like, many people would, but one of the things I easily like is, like, the art style, like, the style, like, the backgrounds, particularly here in Turia, the Space Pirate base. I really, really like the whole sort of, like, mechanical, like, I like all the pipes and stuff in the background, so it's very cool in my opinion. Oh! Metroid loose. Ah, okay. Get off of me. Come on, get off of me. I find that once Metroids latch onto you in this game, they're like a little tricky to get off. But I mean, aside from like destroying them with like the regular like 5 missiles or 1 super missile, you can easily destroy them with 3 power bombs. I mean, that's just the other reason I went with that method is because, again, I find that they're a little tricky to get off of you once they've latched onto you in Super Metroid. Alright, not much further now. Not much further until Mother Brain's room. Ah, come on, not again. Alright, I'll just rewind solely because I don't want to have to deal with another Metroid that's impossible to remove. As opposed to like Metroid Zero Mission or other games, I find that Metroids take a little bit longer to unfreeze in this game. Maybe because they haven't exactly figured out how to make them like less freezable, like or more immune to like the cold temperatures in this game. Alright, we have found a whole load of death and destruction here, in which if you touch one of these corpses or whatever, they just Thanos out of existence. It's like they got Thanos snapped out of existence. So if you guys have been wondering whatever happened to the baby Metroid that Ridley kidnapped, well, this is what's become of it. It's now just a gargantuan-sized Metroid, in which we actually can't do anything to stop it. Like, it's gonna latch onto us, and it's like not gonna let go. Regardless if we use like power bombs or whatever, like we actually can't do anything to get it off of us at this point. But fortunately, just when we're within an inch of our lives, it recognizes that we're its mama. So yeah, considering how it took the Metroid that long to recognize that we were its quote-unquote mother, you know, the pirates must have done a lot of experimenting on it. I mean, obviously considering how they cloned it, and then literally genetically engineered it. Now, of course, we don't have to worry about, like, low health for too long, because there's an energy recharge station right in here, which we get every last point of energy of ours back. So now, with the Metroids destroyed once again, we can just make our way on over to Mother Brain. There we go, one last of those boss hatches. So now we just fall through here once again. There's a save station, but I'm not really gonna bother with it. Alright, onto Mother Brain we go, guys. We're in the endgame now. And yes, once again, Mother Brain's boss fight is going to be a bullet hell because of all these projectiles coming at us from every which way. And of course there's these like force field things which are easy to destroy if you just spam your missiles at them. Again, theoretically I could actually just freeze these I could just freeze the Spaghetti-O projectiles, or whatever they're called again. I could just freeze them so that they stop spawning, but actually that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna freeze that one, then just focus on Mother Brain, so we don't have to worry quite as much about other things. Then of course, again, it's just as easy to screw attack into them and destroy them. So Mother Brain's not really putting up much of a fight compared to Metroid Zero Mission, where she was trying to zap us with her eye. So just goes to show, you know, how things are different compared to Zero Mission. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Mother Brain is down just as quick as that. Or is she, though? Because if you guys pay attention to the thumbnail of this stream, or if you've played Super Metroid before, you would know that it's not over. Yes, that's right. Mother Brain has got a new form that's certainly more powerful than her last one. Again, much like, actually kind of like the Ridley boss fight at the beginning, you're not supposed to like meet Mother Brain in like this first phase. Like you're supposed to just like damage her to a certain extent, and then chill, and then other stuff will happen. Which again, if you haven't played Super Metroid before, I'll just keep my mouth shut until that point. But yeah, we're out of missiles now, both regular and super, so it's off to the charge scene. Our best friend throwing missiles don't work, as I've iterated several times over. Yep, Motherboard's got them hand flamethrowers on her, so we need to be careful. Okay, wait, I think Motherbrain's doing something. Oh, yes, that's right, this whole phase. Yep, Motherbrain has unleashed an insanely powerful attack, which, you know, after getting hit by it once, like, we are, like, helpless to stop it. Oh, wait, we can actually stand up again. There's actually, like, no way to dodge this. Even if you go right up to Motherbrain's feet, there's, like, no way to dodge the Hyper Beam, as it's called. Alright, Motherbrain's just gonna keep doing this until we're at, like, low health. So, actually, I actually didn't even think that you could get back up on your feet, once Motherbrain unleashes the Hyper Beam on you the first time, but... Oh, okay, now we can't get back up. Even if I stand upwards, like, we just get knocked right back down. To which now Motherbrain just takes it upon herself to just spam cheap attacks. Is this the end for us, guys? This might be the end for Zebes. Oh, yep, it's the end. Psych, you thought, because in the last moment, the baby Metroid has come to see us once again. Motherbrain must have had like a lot of juice if it took that long to decipher her life force. I mean, then again, she's a literal biological supercomputer, so... And now the baby Metroids actually come to give that energy to us, to refuel our health, along with give us another special ability, which will come in handy because, for whatever ungodly reason, Motherbrain has resurrected, and she is not happy with the baby healing us. And like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Metroid species is permanently extinct. But with the death of the baby, we now have the Hyper Beam, in which we can actually use this to just destroy Motherbrain. So, you know, Motherbrain was the one who was just cheaply spamming attacks up until this point, so now it's our turn to just cheaply spam our Hyper Beam right back at her. Taste the rainbow, mother lover, as the old meme goes. Can't exactly say the actual word that was said in that meme, otherwise YouTube will hammer me. But yeah, Motherbrain just doesn't stand a chance with us now that we have our Hyper Beam. And just like that, Motherbrain is now officially dead, never to resurrect again. But of course, now with the death of Motherbrain, there is one more thing to do. Get the hell out of here, because another escape sequence has started, and this time the whole planet is rigged to self-destruct. Okay, just gotta go along this way here, and then we got Shine Spark. Alright, walk this way real quick. Destroy that pirate. Alright, we gotta make haste out of this space pirate base because again the whole planet is going down. So okay, I gotta rewind real quick because again, space jump like the jumping mechanism of this game for a space jump can be very iffy sometimes, so you wanna be careful, especially during the escape sequence here. How could the pirate see me through the wall though? Like how did that space pirate blast me through the wall even though he couldn't see me? Ah, space pirate logic. And considering the fact that like the space pirates really aren't like they aren't running for their lives much like we are, like it just goes to show that they really don't give a damn anymore. But now we're just gonna continue up. Again, so I forgot to mention there's a bit of an epilepsy warning with this escape sequence here because things are shaking and there's like lights flashing, so yeah. Now, for those of you who have been with me for a long time, like for those who saw my initial Super Metroid Let's Play, you'll know that I actually never really got the best ending, in which you actually saved those animals that we encountered not long before we fought Motherboard here. So, very quickly, we're actually gonna, like, while the clock is ticking, we need to actually go back down to where we got the morph ball bombs, or boom balls, as Digi calls them. And we need to actually save those animals because, I mean, not just for, like, the sake of, like, getting the best ending, but it's because, like, these animals will actually help us out a lot in Metroid Fusion, which we'll be streaming next week. Alright, so a minute and a half left and the whole planet goes kablooey. Unfortunately, we made it back to where we got the bombs, so now we just destroy that little passageway in which the animals can now escape. Yes, yes, you're welcome, little creature, but you need to go now because things are about to go kablooey. Come on, now's not the time to mess up my jumps. Okay, our ship is right up ahead, guys. We're almost there. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our speedrun of Super Metroid. So now, all that's left is to just get the heck out of here before planet Zebes is reduced to nothing but a big ball of debris and gas. Zebes has been destroyed, and along with it, the space pirates and the Metroids. And alas, we've also survived, and if you look closely at the right-hand corner of the screen now, you'll see that the animals actually escaped safely. The operation was completed successfully. An hour and 50 minutes. Not a bad time at all. Not a bad time at all. Even though like 2.5 hours have technically passed in like the real world, I mean, we've still made it. But yeah, that was actually a really good run, you guys. So, I mean, thanks to the 3 people who actually showed up here. Now, of course, again, Super Metroid, there's just a lot of things. I didn't really talk about it as much as I wanted to because, you know, there's nobody really in the Discord chat with me. So, for next week's stream of Metroid Fusion, I'm actually hoping to have, like, more people, kind of with me in the VC so I can kind of show them, like, talk about them with the game and stuff and answer some of the questions they had because I didn't exactly have that for this stream. But, yeah, there's just 2 weeks left until Metroid Dread finally comes out, and I'm super, super stoked to be sharing it with all of you guys. So, yeah, but for now, tomorrow we look forward to the Super Metroid Speed Paint that I'll be releasing. And then, of course, you know, next Saturday we'll be doing our Metroid Fusion stream, which is our last live stream before Metroid Dread's release. And along with the Speed Paint coming out of Metroid Fusion, I have a big surprise that I mentioned much earlier on when I announced the Metroid. Frick. Sorry, I've been talking for so long. It's just it's common to lose your train of thought, isn't it? So, yeah, next week, again, along with the Metroid Fusion Speed Paint I'll be releasing on October 3rd, I have that big surprise that I mentioned back when I announced the Mega Metroid Marathon. It's certainly taken a lot of work, but I'm sure you guys are going to like it. And actually, as a matter of fact, during next week's stream, I'll actually show you guys a little teaser as to what it is. So make sure you guys stay tuned for all of that. Still carrying on with the whole ominous theme. But I suppose it's kind of fitting because, you know, next week, Metroid Fusion, it's very, very ominous. So, nice to keep the sort of vibe up while we have it. Alright, and all that's left is to see our item collection rate for this run. Alright, let's see what we got. Like I said, this is actually, like, the first time on YouTube that I've actually gotten, like, the best ending. And it's only because, like, we saved the animals. And maybe because we got under 2 hours. Maybe both. And yes, Samus just blasted us for being pervs. Alright. Your rate for collecting items is 72%. All right, not a bad rate for collecting items at all. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end off this week of the Mega Metroid Marathon right here. Like I said, stay tuned for tomorrow's speed paints of Super Metroid, which is the beautiful artwork you saw in the thumbnail. Along with that, be ready for next week's stream of Metroid Fusion, and the time draws near for Metroid Dread. So with that being said, thank you guys for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe, leave comments down below because I like them, and crank that like button to the max like Soldier Boy. Until then, I'm Hadfield15, and I will see you guys in the next mission. Space out, bros and brositas. Thank you for watching.